Of course I hate these people. And let's all hate these people, because maybe hate is what we need if we're going to get something done.
And he believed that these children should be executed, even though, of course, even the return of the death penalty would disqualify the execution of children. It was horrific then. It's horrific to hear it now.
So we fucked up.
You missed the adventures of Frank the Spider, which happened. A spider dropped down from the ceiling.
I saved a spider.
Trey let out a fucking shrill that I've never heard him do before.
Yeah, I'm a bitch.
PJ grabbed it by one of its legs and threw it out.
Yeah.
You know, said...
Then he belly flopped on it.
Yeah, and he tried to do the fucking...
Try to drop the knee on that bad boy.
on that thing. And then
we started to
we're in
speak
the
about
middle. We're in the middle of being hilarious.
Yeah.
And then Trey noticed...
The perils of the corporate world. Yeah. Should we reintroduce the podcast? Okay, so welcome back to the podcast. We fucked up the initial podcast.
What number is this?
Take number two. 137, correct? 137. 137.
Wow.
37. Okay, well, fuck it. Let's prophesize the future. Yeah, that's true. Now we're on number Episode 137, baby.
I'm Steve.
I'm Trey. I'm B. How's it going, y'all?
Here we go again.
Here we go again. So, PJ, let's speak more about how much you hate your boss.
Oh
man, he's such a fucking bitch-ass cunt motherfucker.
Oh, God.
Sorry, I'm just kidding.
I'm joking.
I'm totally kidding. I don't hate my boss, but my boss hates me.
That's okay. I'm okay with that.
I feel like Homer when he's like, I don't like you. He's like, nah, I like you.
Yeah, I love that.
But let's start from where we left off. You were speaking. You were adding something about the whole corporate experience.
Before Trey noticed that the volume was
Oh, yeah, tell us about the bank thing. Yeah, that was really good.
So when I worked at the bank, the new manager came in. He's trying to be fucking buddy pals with everyone. He's like, "Hey, Steve, do you want to go grab some beers?" I was like, "Okay, cool." I never get close to my bosses. It's just stupid.
Yeah.
I was like, why not? Let's go grab some beers.
Yeah.
So we get some beers. We have a good time. It's cool. And then, next day at work, he needed something. He was on the phone, and so I went to go get it. Right, I had to write some information down for him. Yeah. So I walk up to him. I don't need his fucking full attention. I don't need anything. Yeah. I just need him to acknowledge that he sees that I got it for him, and I'm going to go away. So I connect eyes with him, and I hand the paper to him, and he looks at me, and he's like, got pissed face for whatever was happening on the phone, and he looks at whatever I got him, and he throws it on the ground. I think I don't want to exaggerate, he might have crumbled it up and threw it on the ground, but let's just say he just threw it on the ground.
Either way,
I was like, huh, really?
Did he spit at you like Tupac? Did he tell the person on the phone, like, sorry, some fucking loser here?
The spider's on your sweater! Oh my God, the fucking spider's on your sweater.
Holy shit, hey, no lie.
It might be a different one?
It might be a different one.
Oh my God.
Dude, let's get
that
the
is
fuck
fucking
here.
crazy. No, it's good.
It's crawling towards my dick. It knows.
It knows what the good stuff is.
It knows you want head.
Okay, so earlier we threw a spider out, and then so PJ's like, I got rid of that, and now we're talking on the phone, and then it's either another spider or the same spider crawling down his body.
Oh my God. This makes me feel weird. Oh my God.
Made you jump out of your fucking skin.
Wow. I was like, there's this fucking spider crawling down your sweater.
That spider almost fucked you, P.
Dang. I thought it was a logo on his thing.
the new moving organic logo.
That was fucking weird. Do I need to turn the lights on? Make sure there's not a family of spiders up there. Fucking
yeah, dude. Turn those fucking spotlights on. Yes, turn those. There we go. Cool.
The second spider or the same spider?
Maybe they'll be detoured.
When you threw him, he just did like a fucking.
That was hilarious. He was just chilling on my fucking chest.
I told Trey I thought it was a logo on your sweater.
Oh my God.
It's not. It wasn't though. It was moving as a spider.
By the way, do you think he came back in for his cameo? He was like,
"Listen,
hey, I know you guys fucked up the first time. I know. I'm pretty sure I imprinted on it, and it thinks I'm the mother.
You're the mom. Yeah, that was beautiful.
It's me,
Thank
mommy
you.
spider. Ooh, that spider's lucky.
So, yeah. So, I was like, fuck this guy, right?
Yeah.
And I'm real good at putting up a mirror, right? Like, I don't really have to give you the cold shoulder and know that you're a dick. I just treat you very. No, you're good. Bland, right? Like I just give you what you need. That's it.
Yeah, exactly.
So then, like a week later, he's like, "Hey,
Steve, like a Korean waitress."
Yeah, exactly.
Go on.
Like a Korean waitress. He was like, "Hey, Steve, you want to get beers?" It was like a week later, and I was like,
"Man, hell no, man."
You know what, man? I'm good. I just told him that like that, and he got the hint.
Yeah.
Hey, fuck you. Don't like you can.
Yeah. Did he fire you next time?
No.
Okay.
Well, that's how I left the bed.
Because that's how I would have dealt with that.
I would give him a
Oh,
shin.
you don't want any beers?
Oh, you don't want to get beers with me? You're fired.
Yeah,
All fucking spiteful.
yeah, and so
All right.
that just like confirmed like I'll never be close or cool with my. I mean, I'm cordial, but I'm not gonna be like sharing stories with them and shit.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
I think like that story is very emblematic of like how I deal with things. Is that it's cool. It's like awesome to be cool with your boss.
Yeah.
But then once your boss has to make those decisions that may not necessarily fall in your favor,
Yeah.
then it's kind of like how do I separate the two? If we're
You
cool,
can't.
you can't.
I can't. I can't.
No,
personally.
I can't. I can't
I don't
do it.
No, because like to me, it's like we're just people.
Yeah.
Regardless of the fucking system here and what your title is,
It's
we're
awesome
just
that you
people
see it
here.
like that, you know?
Yeah, and that's why most people who see things that way probably aren't bosses.
Yeah. Trey, I called you into my office because I have to write you up. And that's it.
You're still coming to the barbecue.
You come to my house though, right?
Yeah,
Still?
no. Fuck you.
You know, fuck you.
Hey,
right
this is-
now.
This is business. This is business. I'm talking about pleasure.
Yeah. See, like that.
No?
I can't separate the two.
Yeah,
Sorry.
I can't do it. I can't. It's stupid. So, the 9 to 5 is a soul eater, but there are people out there built for it.
Last time I had a boss that I
Yeah.
was cool with,
Yeah. Made love to you.
we invited him
Oh, yeah.
to the sanctuary
Oh,
of
yeah,
our
yeah,
friendship,
It's weird.
and he did us dirty.
You
Yeah.
did.
That, you know what's funny? My
And his
my
name
current-
was...
my current boss. Like, well, I have a lot of bosses, but like my main boss.
Yeah.
That guy reminds me of him.
Oh,
like,
shit, really?
He would be the guy who took things too far, like say things that were just mean, that were under the guise of jokingness.
Oh, I love
And
it.
I've had to check that dude twice already. I've had to check my boss, who's a vice fucking president, twice. And that's like, to me, I mean, now when I think about his style, I'm like, maybe I shouldn't check him. But at the same time, like,
Is he a funny guy?
fucking talk to me like that. You motherfucker. That's what I want to do. I want to fucking hit him with the fucking butt of a gun. Yeah. It's just like, why? It's not funny. You're being a dick, you know?
So I guess the question would be this: that pops up in your head. Where do I draw the line? Where do I say, hey, I respect myself too much to, hey, I'm kind of into what I'm doing. Do I need to fucking take this dick in the mouth so that I can move up?
I'll take small dicks, but those fucking huge ones, nah, I'm not
Are
having
you
that
capable
shit.
of doing that? Because a lot of people say like, oh man.
Of course you're capable of doing it. You've been in the job long enough to have taken it. At least a few times.
Not everybody. Because I know I'm not capable of taking it.
Let's just say
in a metaphorical term.
I've karate chopped a few dicks out of my mouth.
Certainly. You have to
quickly.
smack some of them away.
And there was times where I was like, I'm fucking for sure not taking that one. And
Yeah.
then where I talked to the owner and I was like, you know what? I think that's bullshit.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
think that what they're doing is this, and that. When her face turned red, I knew I fucked up. Like she
Yeah,
got
yeah,
mad. And I was like, I'm sorry, but I don't accept that. I don't accept what they said.
But
Yeah.
I mean, you have a personal barometer, right?
Yeah.
Where you go, this is something that I can let slide. This is something
Right.
that absolutely will never slide.
Yeah.
You know, in terms of like how I deal with things in the workplace.
Yeah, I think
I think it's only a certain level of bullshit
You can
you're
take.
able. Well, I think I know you as a person, so I
Yeah.
think it's only a certain level of bullshit. There's certain things where I could see you going, that's not something that I need to fight against.
Yeah, yeah.
Even if it does,
Yeah.
even if it rubs you the wrong way.
Right.
But the reason why I asked is because I don't think any of us in this room are really capable of taking the level of bullshit that probably 90% of the fucking
It's
working
true.
population take on a daily basis.
What I truly believe is that not because it's like romantic or anything, is that each one of us, just the way we're built, we're actually supposed to be our own bosses. Like we're supposed to be doing shit that we
not
get
everybody.
paid. You know,
You were saying there are people who take it.
No, I'm saying
yeah,
in the-
those
in the-
people
in
are
this
called
room.
jellyfish.
Well, no, he's saying in this
In
room.
this-
Spineless jellyfish.
in this room, I think that
No, absolutely,
we are supposed to, like we were better off being our own bosses.
Also, we're from an older.
I
from a
fight
different
way
time,
more
you know?
than I should. I fight way more than I should.
But also, too-
I would benefit from taking a healthy dose of shutting the fuck up, but I have Panther blood in me for whatever reason.
Because Huey Newton's your dad. That's why. Can't help it. Can't help it.
Side note: do you guys hear me come through on the headphones?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
You don't hear yourself?
I wish you could turn yourself
Are
down.
you
actually.
totally plugged in?
Might not be.
Oh, you want to hear yourself even louder? Please,
Look
God,
at
no.
that.
Are you plugged in again?
I'm plugged in
wow,
again.
Steve Zulu, Jesus Christ.
I'm recognizing
Every
it.
fucking time.
Wow.
I'm recognizing it. I was like, shit sounds a little.
A little muffled.
No, but see, like what I was saying, what I was talking about earlier, like
Somebody get up and go punch that dude.
I'll be right back. Is like my boss snubbed me like many times. Like I stopped even saying like casual things like good morning because there's no fucking. I just peace sign by because like he'll just be like I'll say something to him and just be looking right at his screen, not even say anything. It's really but then I've been on at a table with him and his boss and he's saying something. The boss asked him like, hey, give me such and such information. He starts relaying the information. The dude just turns to his other, like, his partner, blah, 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 another conversation. I'm like, oh, that's how it works. I see this is a learned behavior. You're a fucking bitch because your boss is being a little bitch to you. Yeah. And I was like, that's cool that you just, you just treat others the same way.
So, yeah, today I got mad because I asked this dude a question, like, I'm cool with him. And I was like, so basically some shit came back fucked up. Yeah. And I'm pissed off because now it was unnecessary. Like, it was preventable and they didn't follow procedure. I'm just going to say it like that. Yeah. And I go, who did this? And he's like, oh, blah, 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 did this. And then I was like, okay, can you ask him next time to do this? And then, like, he, like, said something to someone else and then he walked away. I go, okay. He goes, hey, he's like, come on, man, let's go over here. I go, I'm not going anywhere, dude. I'm trying to tell you something, and you're just going to walk away in the middle of a conversation like this didn't happen?
Did you really say that?
Yeah.
Yes. This is people regaining their fucking humanity.
Yeah. And then I was like, nah. And then I went over there because, like, they did need me over in there. Yeah. And he's like, hey, Steve, I'm sorry, man. I walked away. Like, but I was like, hey, it's cool, man. Like, I'll drop it just like that. But just know, I'm not going to let that slide, dude. Like,
of course.
I'm not telling you about my favorite candy.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean? I'm talking about work. And you're just going to walk away. Like, all right, man, that's cool. But we're cool. I just think that he doesn't have, like...
people skills.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I'll let it go.
He's a dullard.
No. But, it's crazy because we got this dude at work. So, okay. So we got this new dude at work, right? Yeah. And he's cool with me, but I could tell that there's like a thing where I'm like, there's something about you though, man. Like I don't know what
sexual
it is.
Attention?
It is that sexual attention. He wears these tight pants.
He just bites his lip.
He's like, damn, yeah.
I wish you would strangle me.
Why did you get married?
What a waste.
You could have married me.
It's just a ring.
Just met you, dog.
So check this out. So he basically...
Oh, sorry. This motherfucker.
Sorry, I'm so popular.
So he basically, he kind of took over the spot I was going to fill, except that I decided I was like going to move in another direction.
Yeah.
So they brought this dude in, and he gave me a ride home one time, right? He's like, I'm going that way, man. And I was like, all right, he's cool, but like, I don't know if we vibe like that.
Yeah.
But anyways, I was thinking, man, so they flew this dude out to Vegas, right, to take like seminars and shit for what was going down. Yeah. And I was like, damn, this dude must be like good as hell, right? Yeah. And he's like tearing it up. Turns out this dude's the very, very opposite of that. He's fucking up all over the place, like where they're like holding back from firing him. Yeah. So check this out. So,
and he's above you.
No. He's just in a different area.
Gotcha.
This dude's grimy as fuck. Let me just go ahead and tell you what's
going on.
What
do you mean by grimy?
Grimy?
Yeah, what do you mean by grimy? Yeah.
So like he doesn't believe in tipping, right? He's like, I don't tip.
It's fine.
Like,
okay.
Why don't you,
I appreciate that.
No, why don't you tip?
I can get behind that. Don't worry.
I'll allow it.
I'm not as mad at that as I
was like,
be.
why don't you tip? He's like, well, because I don't know, but I only tip when my girl's around. Cause I was like, why? Well, I don't want her to think like. I was like,
that's scumbaggy. I get it.
I was like, that's weird, dude. And I was like, all right, well, check this out. So me and the other person were like, well, you don't have to tip, but we tip. I mean, if the service is shit, obviously not. But
yeah, of course.
Yeah. So next thing you know, I was like, fuck, man, I forgot my lunch. He's like, oh, man. I was like, let's go Taco Bell. And he's like, all right, cool, I'll drive. I'm like, cool. And we pull up. There's only like 5 spaces in this little ass parking lot. And they're all filled up except for the handicap, right? I was like, shit, all the fucking parking spots are taken, right?
I know where this is going.
He's like, oh, that's all right. You want to park? I got parking. And I was like, nah, man. And he's like, and he parked in the handicap spot. And I was like, fuck it. We're just going to be like a minute. Let's
please tell me. Oh, I was like, please tell me he pulls out a placard.
So then, and then I was like, all right, we're getting out. He goes, hold on. He pulls out a placard.
You're not.
Oh, my fucking God.
Motherfucker.
I was like, it made me want to get out of the car limping. Just so I didn't look like a fucking dirtbag.
Yeah.
I was like, I don't even know, bro.
You fine. Get out, you just way overdo it. You're like,
Drag me. So I was like, wow, right?
Yeah.
So here's the other thing, right? So this dude, this is not any, I don't, whatever. It's just to each their own on this one. So he's got a girlfriend here, and then he's got a girl he's into in Mexico, right? So
international, it's actually okay.
yeah,
Is he Mexican?
Yeah.
Simon.
He's Nigerian, yeah.
Simon.
He's Nigerian.
So he basically was like telling us about this girl here, and then we're like, well, check this out. Let's ask you a question. If the other girl in Mexico lived here, would you still be with the other girl? He's like, no, not even close. I was like, what are you doing then? Like, let that girl go, because like you don't ever plan to have anything. It'd be different if you're 16,
Steve,
18.
I didn't peg you for a player hater.
Well,
Steve's trying to fuck his game up.
Yeah, don't hate the player, hate the
I
game,
got two
Steve.
bitches. You trying to get me down to one bitch?
And
Do the math.
so I was like, but you know what though, man? To each their own. How about this? Just let them know that you wanna have more. Like for me, I never got a girlfriend said, yeah, you're mine, and then fucked around on her. I just said, hey, I don't want a girlfriend, and then I
Exactly. Then you do what you want.
I did
Steve,
everything I
did he
want.
stop you and he was like, I don't need a father, and then he just walked away.
Ooh, that would have been fucking hilarious.
I'm like, well.
He's like, now eat your Mexican pizza and shut the fuck up.
But I just was like, you know what? They'll tweet your own on that, bro. Like, you do you. I
hate hearing things like that from people.
Yeah, I was like, whatever, man. That's cool. Like, I don't dislike him for that, but I think I was like, why? My main thing was, damn, do you really make shit difficult for yourself like that? You know, you gotta sneak around. Like, I never wanted to do that. But you know what? If you're cool with that,
boys will be boys.
Fuck it, I don't care.
Yeah, go on.
So here's the big thing. So
It's machismo.
he flies. So the company, the company,
Razor remote.
so the company flies this dude to Vegas, right?
Okay. Oh,
So
God.
supposedly he gets sick on the plane, right? He's like, and he's never flown before or anything, so he's feeling like shit. So then the coworker that's with him was like, hey, check this out, like just stay in the hotel room, blah blah blah, and I'll let the boss know. The boss calls him, say, how you feeling? He's like, feel like crap. She's like, okay, listen, order yourself some room service, relax, sleep, blah blah blah. So this dude, they're there for 3 days, right?
Hooker.
First day, he's nowhere to be seen because he's sick, and that's understandable. Second day, still feeling bad. Third day is finishing up the workshops. Missed all the workshops, right? So the two bosses and the two other employees that were there called him and said, hey, listen, I extended your checkout time to 1, so you don't have to rush because you're still feeling bad.
Yeah.
But come down to the main area, and we already bought your lunch.
Yeah.
So we're getting ready to eat. He's like, okay, I'm heading down now.
Yeah.
20 minutes pass. No dude. So they call. Hey, what's up? He's like, oh, I'm sorry, I'm on my way. Boom. 15 minutes pass. Call him again. 15 minutes pass. Called him again. Hey, where you at? He's like, oh, I'm on my way down right now. Bob was like, okay, cool. 20 minutes pass. She calls. Where are you at? He's like, oh, I was walking around, then I ended up over this spot over here. And she's like, why did you leave the hotel? The place where you eat is literally in the same hotel. You're 3 minutes away. What happened? He's like, I don't know. I got lost. She's like,
What was he doing? Gambling?
she's like, find.
Finds him at the craps table.
She's like, find an employee.
Big money.
Yeah.
Daddy needs a new pair
He's there
of
losing a
sneakers.
bunch of money.
She's like, find an employee, and he or she will point you in the right direction. He's like, oh, okay. Dude, they wait like another 25 minutes.
No.
Yeah. This fucking dude shows up, right? They've been done eating. They've been eating for an hour. They're still waiting on his ass. He shows up, helps himself to fucking lunch.
No.
They have to wait for him. Probably.
I just picture he's all sweaty in like a tux and his like fucking undone bow tie. He's like, sorry, I just got lost. It's clearly been out all
Right. Yeah.
Can't stop talking.
Yeah. So they from there they go to the airport, right? So the supervisor, she has her headphones in, but she's looking for a song. She's not playing any music yet. Dum Dum doesn't know that, and the other employee's like, "Oh man, we didn't get to really do anything or gamble or anything like that." And then she goes, "Oh, you didn't get to gamble?" He's like, "I did." And she's like, "Oh, when?" Because she doesn't know anything about what was happening. She was in another hotel and everything.
Yeah.
He's like, "Oh, this afternoon." The supervisor was like,
I knew he was gambling.
yeah. Supervisor was like, "What the fuck, dude?" But she played it off like she didn't hear it.
Yeah.
And then
Kept singing Taylor Swift.
I would have said something. That's me though. I would be like, "You fucking did what?" I was like, "That's fucking bullshit."
No, hell no.
Yeah.
You have to do exactly what you were speaking about earlier. You just
Yeah.
you know,
No. It's
take
true.
a mental note.
Yeah.
So that's what.
File it
yeah,
away.
exactly. That's what she did. And then she didn't tell anyone because she's like, it wasn't for my ears, and I didn't want to tell anyone about it. But since he's been fucking up so much, I'm going to throw this on the pile as well.
Yeah.
And so, like, he doesn't know that they know. So, yeah, that's that dude. And then... and
he's still employed at your job?
And he's still employed. So check this out. And since he came from another spot...
You should use that as currency next time they try to do some shit.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. So, and since he's from another spot, they offered him the position with the amount, the salary amount.
Yeah.
He's like, it's just, that's not enough. I get paid this much over here, and I won't be able to do that. She goes, I'll match it. She gets paid more than his boss. He gets paid more money than his boss now, and he does all that shit. Weird.
Life's not fair.
Fucking weird.
Seems like you need to be more of a
words
fuck
of
up,
Scar.
Steve.
Nah,
I know, man. You need to do more than slowly moving furniture around.
yeah.
You should need to start just Thor smashing furniture. Tables like,
Just fucking put some people down with a
I
couple
want a
of-
raise.
You drop a couple priceless vases. Whoops.
But, you know, here's the real thing. is
Oh,
that-
yeah, that's true. You need to do a Frank Grimes. That's what you need to do. I'm a stupid moron. Give me a raise.
It's just the owners are so nice, but it's getting to the tipping point now where they've never fired anyone before, and this might be the first dude ever in the history of this job to get
The only
fired.
place where they don't fire people is where they're like, they already know what they're doing is slave labor, and they're like, we need to keep everyone here.
He has to have some redeeming qualities, though. There has to be some reason that they're...
Well, I don't know. He walked by a customer and said something, and then the customer turned and said, "What did you say?" And he's like, "Oh, no, I was just kidding." And then she was like staring off the space. She goes, "No, wait a minute. What you said was really fucking weird."
Just call me the C word? She's like, I'm just joking. Jeez.
Hey, you cunt.
Get the fuck out of my way.
Just fucking joking.
Yeah, I'm just kidding. Take it easy. Yeah, easy. But anyways, that's what happened so far this week.
Nice.
Which is kind of interesting. So,
Nice.
long story long.
Long story long.
Yeah.
Hey, that's all good.
But yeah, so 9 to 5 slowly kills you.
It
What-
does slowly kill you.
What do you do about it? You know?
I don't know. What do you do about it?
Shoot yourself.
Nah.
True.
Yeah.
In the office, leave a real lasting impression on everyone who worked with, and then leave a note that
I'm doing
says,
this for you
"This
guys."
is because of you guys."
Remember the phrase, like, go postal? Postal workers don't shoot up shit like they used to.
Yeah,
Nah.
not a good
It
old
hasn't
postal
happened in
shooting
a long
while.
time,
Nah.
man.
Yeah, it's been
Like
a
in the
while.
90s, that shit was happening every week.
Well, it's a fucked up job. Now my brother's a postal worker. You
I
know?
wonder, like, was it just much more stressful in the 90s? I would think there would be more to deliver now, you know, with Amazon and
Shit, I don't
all that
know.
shit. Amazon has same day delivery now. Could you imagine what's going on in those fucking warehouses?
They have like hourly delivery. They could tell you like, "Oh, we'll deliver that in a couple hours now." In some places,
Find these fucking Amy's frozen pizzas now.
where are my fucking Amy's?
So crazy, yeah. I don't know, man. But I mean, there's things you can do, but you have to transition over.
Hey, though, you always preserve your integrity because that could be the last thing you fucking have at the end of the day.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, you know.
If anything-
integrity and broke though is a tough road.
Yeah, it is a tough road. It is a tough because it's fucked up because you're forced to make the decision sometimes. Like Steve, that guy, he almost put you in a position when he threw that fucking piece of paper on the floor. You know, you're like,
Yeah.
trying to think,
Yeah, I was like,
you know,
What fucking movie have I seen? I feel like it might have, was it Wedding Crashers, where the guy was saying that he was like, I had a grandmother and she didn't take shit from anybody, and he was like, because she didn't take shit from anybody, she died broke.
right.
And I was like, ah, man.
so what though?
I
She broke with
understand that.
integrity. Can't let people walk over you though. You know.
But check this out. Let's say that you're working for like your dream job, and you have to get past the obstacle of one asshole. I will suck it up.
And that asshole is Harvey Weinstein. What
Yeah.
do you do?
You definitely gonna suck it up. You definitely gonna suck something up.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's fucked up. But yeah, tomorrow's my 10-year anniversary. Thank you guys.
Oh, nice. They're gonna give you a raise.
Fast clap. Somebody's gonna give him a raise.
Hi-yo.
Hopefully it's his wife.
I hope it's you, wife.
You hear me?
Yeah, that's hilarious because today I mentioned that some girl's like, oh, yeah, how she was saying, no, I've been with my boyfriend. It's a year, such and such, like in a couple days. I was like, oh, that's dope. And she was like,
Yeah.
oh, let me be with your wife. I was like, oh, it'll be my 10-year anniversary tomorrow. And I was like, no, I was like, not to diminish your 1 year. 1 year is fucking dope, like, you know. But
You
like,
should have diminished it.
I'm a goddamn veterano. I was like, don't, you know. we've been through everything. So, I mean,
Steve,
it's like,
that's coming for you. Can you imagine it?
Steve,
Crazy, dude.
it's funny when people say like when they're like 1 year or something like 18 years. What do you got on that? I know people who are older than me who have been with their fucking wives for that long. You know?
Yeah, yeah.
I've never been with a chick for a year straight.
Well,
in my life.
you're not a good partner.
Player.
Says something about your sexual performance more than anything.
I think before.
That's really fucked up.
Maybe you learn how to please a woman. Maybe.
That might totally be true. I eat a hell of a vagina, you know.
You from the Eat a Booty gang?
Nah, I don't eat booty.
Come on, that's what's happening.
That
All
might be
motherfuckers
it.
are from
That
the
might
booty gang.
that might be it.
I make up for it with my cunnilingus, no?
Cunning linguists. Hey.
Yeah, it's crazy because
There's no secrets. You just got to be.
You just gotta grind it out.
Got to grind it out.
If you really like the person, you're like, I kind of like some of the shit that we do. I'll grind it out. Just we'll get past it and then we'll get back to the shit I like to do. Because we're coming up on our not married 9 years.
Yeah.
Wow, you've been with wow,
Dude, coming up on our
That's
9
a long
year.
time, man.
So it's like, well, when Adam Sandler says, "Wow, that's a long
But
time,"
you just coming. You've been married for 10 years. You guys have been together for how
18.
long? Wow.
that's a long time.
Yeah. I mean, but like I tell people literally, no secret, just be fucking excellent friends with that person.
Yeah.
Because if you're about to commit, someone was like, what ring? Isn't there some special ring you're supposed to get for your 10 years? I was like, fuck, no, there's no fucking ring for 10 years. I gave her the goddamn ring already. I gave her my life, my fucking one life I have,
The one
till
that we
I'm
have.
fucking dead.
Yeah.
What more do you want? She's like, I guess that's a good trade-off. I was like, oh god, only a girl would
man.
think I guess that's a good trade-off.
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, it's a fantastic trade-off.
Yeah. But you know what I love? I love that.
Till the end of my life.
I love that little clip you sent me from Curb Your Enthusiasm.
Which
Where
one?
she's like, yeah, and then we're together for eternity. He's like, for eternity. I thought like
After
that
we're dead, we're
when
gone.
we're dead, we could just go our separate ways. Like,
She's like, no, if I do
forever.
the next lifetime.
He's like, I don't think that I actually agreed to that.
Yeah, I think he said till death do us
death.
part.
Till
Once
death.
death. Yeah, he said I think it's in the vow.
How fucking hilarious that if there is an afterlife, it's just a bunch of dudes like,
I don't know. We're gonna go this way though.
done now, right?
Yeah.
I mean,
and women, they're like, oh, it's a wrap, right? I fulfilled my
listen,
my end of the
as
bargain.
much as I want to believe that reincarnation is real, because I think that's cool.
Yeah.
I don't think. I mean, even if it is true, you're not going to. Most of the time, you're not going to remember your past life. So it's like that's it.
What do you
That's
guys
it.
you keep being drawn to each other?
I mean, maybe
time and time again.
maybe in the next life, I'll.
Steve's like, no.
Yeah, right.
I can't get away from her. Yeah, I mean, I love the shit out of my wife, but yeah, for sure, like an eternity plus an eternity plus an eternity. Like, I would be thinking, like, aren't you fucking tired of me yet? Jesus Christ!
And it never gets easier. It's just the same thing
It's the same-
over and over.
Just being in a relationship is hard as it is. Like,
Yeah.
I need to be in another. Like, we're in a lucky circumstance now. What if in the next life we have to be like homeless people that spend the rest of our lives together?
That's probably easier because there's no expectations.
Yeah.
You don't have shit. She doesn't have shit. So nobody.
What do you want from me?
Yeah,
I got fucking Pringles chips all over my fucking face.
Homeless relationships seem the most. They seem the most like
Put together.
genuine.
Yeah, because she's not there for the money, right?
Nothing.
He's not there for the
He's
money.
not there for the money. It's probably just sexual chemistry. They're just fucking each other. That's all they have to do.
Just unbridled homeless sex.
Yeah. You know what's funny is that
Dirty vaginas.
I witnessed some homeless sex.
Schmegma.
Yeah. So there's a tall building next to my tall building, and everything echoes, right? And I was hearing some people fucking. I was like, I'm not a doctor or anything, but I think someone's fucking right now. And I was like,
How long did you sit there and listen?
oh,
You ever heard your parents fuck?
no,
Never.
I walked in.
I've never.
have.
Oh no.
It's gross.
Yeah.
No,
It's
thank God.
It's not a not a good
PJ,
look.
you have. You've told me. You have.
No, I never have. I've never walked in on them. As far as I know, I was immaculately conceived. I don't think I've ever been that sex. Yeah, no, thank God I haven't. Sorry, go on.
No, I mean, I looked out the window. There was a couple of young homeless people fucking.
Oh wow.
And I was like,
Beautiful. It's beautiful.
Like how young?
probably like early 20s.
Oh word. That's cool.
Yeah.
That's the best time.
Oh
to fuck.
yeah. There was
Yeah,
a ton of
homeless.
them. Yeah, they're like all the young. It's kind of like
Were they
Venice
good-looking
almost.
homeless people?
I don't know. I
It
just
wasn't
saw
enough to like store in the bank for later.
No, it wasn't even that kind of good.
Yeah.
I can't get the smell out of my head.
That
you know
sucks.
what that might be?
I can't get the smell out of my head. He wasn't even there. He
Yeah,
was
when you were
like,
ah,
I
you know,
assume it smelled
you know,
pretty
it's probably
bad- pretty
smelling
gross.
pretty bad.
Smells like a fucking Amy's frozen dinner.
hey, Amy's. I endorse Amy's. This is fantastic.
Someday, hopefully they'll sponsor this podcast.
Dude, that would be fucking dope.
You
dude.
be like, you're just a fucking Amy's king over there. You got fucking Amy's hat, Amy's fucking.
I'm the king of this
The
motherfucker.
king of this bitch. You want an Amy's dinner? You want to come to me?
Walk in, you got a fucking wall built of Amy's boxes.
That's what it is.
Did you want Amy's? I'm like, you know what? I'm good.
Hey man, you guys feel like no man, we don't want fucking Amy's. Yeah, you be riding high on
She
the hog
sponsors the
someday.
podcast, goddammit. God, listen what I'm gonna say.
Yeah, man.
Have either of you two seen when They See Us? I want to say.
No, we talked about it last podcast, but I haven't seen it yet.
That's that the Netflix original series, right?
Yeah, it's about the Central
It's
Park
about the,
5.
yeah. Oh god,
Yeah.
that's rough.
You know that story?
I know the story of it, but when I know what it's about,
What's
and
the
I'm already
story,
like, well, these 5 black kids, they were literally kids. And when did it take place? Was it in the 90s or the 80s?
It was the 80s.
Something they got wrongfully convicted
Of raping a little girl.
of raping a white
Not a
girl.
girl, a white lady.
Lady, yeah.
Oh, I do know the story.
And
okay.
these guys were like boys sent to prison, and they spent, I think they said, what, 15 years or 20 years or some shit?
No,
I do remember this.
God.
Most of them spent.
That just makes me- it makes me
6 to 7
sad.
years, and then there was one dude who spent 13 years.
Yeah,
and here's
dude.
the fucked up thing: is that the one guy who spent 13 years, he wasn't even in the park.
Imagine.
The only reason
God
the only reason he even went to jail is because during the time when they were trying to railroad all of these boys that were in the park, one of his friends were one of the guys that they were trying to send directly to jail. So he was like, "Well, dude, I'm gonna come down." When they initially put out, I don't know, they were saying that we want to talk to these fellows. One of the guys that the police put out that they wanted to talk to, he happened to be friends with one of these guys. So he was like, well, dude, if they're going to take you in or they want you to show up at the precinct, I want to be there to support you.
Bad
so
move.
So when he accompanied his friend, they were like, well, you were there too.
Oh shit.
They just said he
I
was
think
there.
they also released like a video of the interrogations, and it was like an obvious coercion.
Yeah. Right,
I mean, and they're young boys, dude. Like, imagine how scared they were.
Well,
being in a
this
fucking-
guy who spent the most time there, he was kind of on the spectrum.
Yeah. Oh, damn.
Yeah, so
Which make it even worse.
They took extreme advantage of him. And
fucked up.
he went crazy. He had to put himself in solitary because he was constantly being raped and beat up.
Oh my god.
So he asked to be put in solitary, and he was in solitary for so long that he started to
his
develop
mind.
psychological issues.
Yeah.
And he was able to bring himself back from that situation because I think I detailed this on the last podcast. There was a guard who took a liking to him, and he knew that, dude, if I don't help this guy, it's going to be all bad for him.
Fucked, man. That's so fucked up.
And dude, the crazy thing about this whole story is that I actually thought this part was something that was written in for kind of like the Hollywood effect of like, okay, let's wrap this up in a bow and make it seem nice. This actually happened. Is that so the last guy who got out who did a span of 13 years, during one of his times where he was in one of the various jails that he was moved to, he got into an argument with like a Latin dude over the TVs in the TV area.
Yeah.
And they had a physical fight. After they had that physical fight, they were separated, and then later on down the line, that this one guy was shipped to a different jail location or a different prison location. When he got to that different prison location, this is when he was a much older man. He comes in contact with the same Latin dude who he originally had a problem with.
Okay.
And this Latin dude finds him. Well, he sees him on the yard, and he walks up to him, and he was like, "Hey, man, I remember you. Remember we had a fight, like years back or whatever." And he was like, "Yeah, I remember you." And so the initial guy that I'm speaking about, he was a little on guard, like, I don't know
What's
the fuck
about
this
to
is
happen,
going.
yeah.
So he's already in defensive mode. He's ready to like, okay, well, if it has to happen, then we'll do this again.
Yeah.
So what happens is that this Latin guy tells him, I just found God, I found Jesus, and because of the things that I've done in my past, I feel like I need to make amends with you, and I want to apologize for the situation that we originally had.
Yeah.
So that guy goes, okay, well, cool, man, it's all good. Like, no, it's no problem. That was in the past. That's something that happened, and we'll move forward from here.
Nice.
What he didn't know is that behind his back, later that night, he went to. There was like a chaplain or something.
Right.
And it was a chaplain that he was seeing, that he was speaking about everything that's happened in his life. This is the Latin guy that I'm speaking about. So he went and expressed to the chaplain that, look, man, there's a guy who's here with me who I had an issue with in the past, and I know for a fact that he's in this jail situation because of a crime that I committed. Oh. He was the guy who raped this woman.
Oh shit!
So
he just got Shawshank Redemption.
He was the guy who ended up raping this woman. So what he did is that he went to the chaplain. He asked the chaplain, "What should I do?" The chaplain was like, "Well, dude, if you know that he's in this prison and he's been in here for 13 years because of a crime you committed, one that he didn't commit, you need to tell somebody about this."
Yeah.
So he goes above the chaplain, and then he starts to speak to some of the prison personnel.
Yeah.
And they go, I don't know. You sure? Because we think you're lying. So he went through all of these various, people, all of these various levels of personnel, and he finally got to a person who said, "Well, look, we're going to look into it." And when the case was the case, they had like a small case retrial.
Yeah.
And when they had the small case retrial, they, I guess DNA evidence. Or DNA testing had grown leaps and bounds from the 80s, until that, and then at that point they were able to perform like DNA testing. Okay. And it came back that it was actually this Latin dude who had done all of this shit. So he was responsible for all of these guys doing jail time.
Damn.
And
wait, she didn't say it wasn't multiple dudes?
Well, here's the thing is that the Latin guy, like when he detailed how it happened, he snuck up behind her and she had her earphones in. So she couldn't hear him at all. When he finally got to within striking range of her, he hit her over the head with a fucking log.
Wow.
And knocked her unconscious right away. So from then on, she had no idea what was going on. So the thing that was crazy is that they were asking some of these guys who were, the original Central Park, because they're grown men now, you know, and most of them, they've actually gone on to lead very like fruitful lives. A lot of them are fucking, what the fuck would you even call it? Like they are motivational speakers and things of that such. But anyway, they were asking them about how they felt about this woman.
Right.
And what they were saying is that they didn't hold any ill will toward this woman, because this woman was she was incapacitated. She had no idea what was going on.
Right.
The only ill will that they held toward her is that she still to this day hasn't gotten in contact with them to say like, hey man, like I know all of this happened and it was pinned on you guys and you guys did unnecessary jail time.
Okay.
And for that I'm sorry. But she wasn't able to say, well, those guys did it or they didn't. She was just like, look, this is what happened to me. And I was raped by somebody. I have no idea who did it.
Okay.
You know? And then later on, it comes out that this fucking Latin guy is the one who did it.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
I mean, it's interesting. The story's compelling for sure, and but it's just like I don't know. I don't want to watch this because it just makes me fucking angry. I get no like sense of like I don't know, like the story wrapping up. It
doesn't wrap up well.
I mean, it doesn't. All those guys did the time, dude. Like, I don't want to spend one day in fucking prison, let alone years of my life, especially as a child. Like, those dudes are like irreparably, fucked up in some portion of their head that they had to get over. I couldn't even imagine.
But I don't know. I think it's good to see these things, even though it's
good to show white people that stuff. That's all. I already know this shit happens. Steve,
African American hardship. African American hardship is so commercialized at this point that I don't like that aspect of it, because it becomes so cliche that people outside of the African American culture don't even want to watch it. They're like, dude, I've seen this a million times, like whether it be slaves or
I don't watch
teenagers
it
being shot.
I don't watch it. My version is not due to indifference. It's just like I don't want to be angry about it. It's like I already know how fucked up the system is, and I already know the injustice that happens. they're not the first guys to be wrongfully convicted and spend chunks of their fucking lives in a prison cell for a crime they didn't commit. You know,
Well, yeah, it's interesting though. Today, I was on the train and I got on the train with it was 3 police officers, right? And I was like,
how did you not just start punching all of them?
and I was standing there, right? And then this dude and his lady with the baby get on, right? And the dude, they both look like he looks like a fucking knucklehead. She looks like a dummy. Like, not to be talking shit.
Wow.
And I was like,
Just a couple of dullards making babies. Go on.
And I was like, oh man, and, dude had tattoos all on his face and his neck. But that's not
real
why.
trash.
I mean, that's
Go on.
but that's not why I is saying he's a dummy, right? No, I'm saying he's a dummy because he got on the train playing music on his phone real loud, right? And I was like, yo, there's 3 cops right here, man. Like, and you're not supposed to like do that shit. But
What
cool.
ethnicity was it?
I don't want to say.
I knew you were gonna ask.
Trey.
I was going to ask, and I was like, I'm gonna let it.
Trey,
let it ride.
I don't want to say, but let's use our imagination for this one.
Let's just say it. He's black, right?
I don't know, maybe.
Come on.
Or is it
You
Latin?
wouldn't have said that if he wasn't black.
So,
Continue.
but
Black.
oh no. So
Black.
I was like, I'm curious to see like how this plays out. Maybe the cops would be like, nah, who cares?
Wait,
Let him fucking
no.
play his music.
You said tattoos all over the face, though. That's what threw me off.
But you also said he was
not
there
too
with
many
his
black
child,
dudes.
so I'm gonna say not black.
That's a good one. That's really fucked up. Fuck you.
Yeah, I thought that threw you off, Trey, but it did not.
No, I thought the tattoos all over the face. I was thinking Mexican, and then
Yeah, because it could go either way, right?
No, it could be a little Zen.
So this fucking dude, it could be
he's just not black at all. He wishes he was
little
black.
drip. I don't know.
Little drip drop. Go on.
So, anyways, the dude's playing his music, and then the cop goes, "Hey, turn your music off." And then like the dude like turns it down, right? And I was like, "That ain't gonna be good enough." I was like, "Fuck it, I'm not my deal. Whatever, I don't give a shit."
Yeah. But
So
it's fun to
come-
observe.
Yeah. So yeah, and the tension's building.
Yes.
And he's like, and the guy's the music's still playing. He goes, "Hey, I said turn the music off or put some headphones in." So the guy like turns it like all the way down, right? You can't hear it anymore. Yeah. So we're on the train and we're getting to the next stop. Dude, he walks up to the door and turns that shit back up again, and they just run to the next cart over to get in that one, right? All because the dude wants to listen to his music loud, like on his phone. And I was like, that's fucking retarded, man. That's like really stupid and really dumb, right?
I hate when people do that.
I was
by the
like,
way.
yo, you can't for 1 second just like I left my phone at home. I was fine. I wasn't dying at all. You know what I mean? I was like, oh, well, fuck it, whatever.
Yeah.
But you had to like put yourself in, let's just say in a way of like a bad spot.
Yeah.
Because you want to listen to some fucking shit on your phone.
I hate when people do that.
Since you couldn't listen to it, you ran to the next cart so you can blast that shit so everyone else can listen to your bullshit.
Oh, dude.
It was probably less about that and more about what P was speaking about, which is like, or maybe you, authority, that weird thing with authority.
Well, of course it was that, but like also it's like, dude,
young black dudes fucking hate authority.
yeah, but like,
any sort.
yo, why do we have to listen to what you're listening to? What if you're listening
I hate
to?
when people do that.
What if you're listening to how to bake pies,
I'm
right?
not gonna
And
even
now
say
I got to
anything,
listen to
'cause
your bullshit.
I'm
'cause
notoriously bad for
You know
this.
it's going to be, for me, I'm like, do I need to get in a fist fight for this?
No,
but
right.
it is very fucking annoying when people are like
Yo.
playing their shit all loud and like, looking at videos. I'm like, dude, like, really?
I
Yeah.
don't look at videos, but I definitely play especially in my car.
That's different.
I'll put
That's
all
different.
4 windows
That's
down
different.
and blast the
Yeah,
blast Dilla like a motherfucker.
But who cares about that? But when you're stuck in a small little box,
It's still the same. It's the same thing, you know. I'm rolling.
not the
I'm in
same.
traffic. Yeah, well, come on. I'm in traffic and I'm
You want it to
rolling
be
next
the
to
same. It's not the
cars.
same.
I can also roll
I'm
my
rolling-
windows up.
Exactly,
I can
yeah.
roll my windows. But this, I'm stuck next to you,
Yeah,
and I'm
dude.
listening to like some bullshit.
I don't see any difference. I'm still subjecting people to what I want to fucking play.
To a lesser extent, though, because like you're not just sitting like in like if we
You
were just
leave.
sitting here in a room.
I
Yeah,
gotta
exactly,
listen to your
yeah.
bullshit for an hour.
Yeah,
And
the
I'm
whole
like,
time you're on the train,
dude. Well, I'm like, shut the fuck
That's
up, man.
fair. I get
Yeah,
that.
yeah,
Like,
yeah.
I don't want to learn how to bake pies, you know, and I gotta listen to you how to learn how to bake fucking pies. And I'm like, can you shut the fuck up?
Yeah.
Put some headphones in. It's
Yeah,
stupid. I want to slap him in the mouth, dude. And I'm like, it's a dick
Yeah.
move.
But I mean, there's varying levels of like just the I don't give a fuck about you, you know, that energy.
Yeah,
On the
yeah.
way here, when I was driving here, there was an Asian guy,
Yeah.
and he was doing the fucking I don't know, like the Sifu, he had his hands behind his back.
Oh, God.
And dude, the light had turned green, and he
still
was
in
just
the
in the middle of the
crosswalk.
street walking as slow as he could possibly
hate
walk.
that shit.
And there was a part of me that was like, what if I just fucking took your legs from under you?
Yeah.
Then you would understand that, look, dude, people aren't going to just stop. They
No.
shouldn't have to stop.
No.
Just because I'll walk as slow as I possibly fucking
I mean,
can.
and you know, and it is not one specific ethnicity. It's all ethnicities. It's about intelligence. You know, you could be white, black, Hispanic, whatever. It doesn't matter. It's, you know, when people do that shit, like on a bike and they're driving through traffic stupid, I'm like, how about I help you trade in that bike for a wheelchair? You know what I mean? Like, dude, I'm like, just like, not on purpose, but like, dude, you just like cut me off with a bike. Like, what if I wasn't paying attention? Like, what if like
game over for you?
Like, what if something dropped and I was like had to grab it really quick and now you're dead?
That's one of my biggest pet peeves dealing with people in general is the idea that I can do whatever this is, and I'm going to continue to do this because nobody's going to tell me I can't. That bothers me.
Yeah,
It's almost a form of indirect bullying. Like,
Oh yeah.
Well, like, what the fuck are you
What are you
really
gonna do
gonna
about it? And it's like, I want to,
There's a point of me that wants to be like, hey man, yeah.
but is it worth it? You know,
Yeah.
the whole thing. You know, and I'm like, dude, I want to, you know. But I was gonna say with this also, I was like, huh. So you got these cops on the train, and then, dude, every stop that we made, if some like young black dudes were about to get on, they skirted to the next one. They would see like the cops in there, and I was like, whoa, dude, that's like crazy. They're like, I don't want to be there. And so when that dude left with his lady to the next one, the cop goes, he didn't want to have anything to do with us. And I was like, oh, okay, dude, relax. Like,
calm down, bro.
I mean, like,
But that's not a good thing.
No.
For some reason, he saw that as
yeah.
But to some degree, there's a fair bit of like shocking going on where you're like, no,
no.
not dealing with the law.
And I totally get that. I totally get that. You know,
But I mean, he was in the wrong. The guy.
I
get it.
So like, but the cop didn't have to say that either. You know, I was like, all right, dude. But it was interesting. They were also talking about when I very first got on the train. They're talking about how like the level of drugs is different.
Yeah.
They're like talking about how this rookie who was like this woman over by USC or something like that. Oh no, she transferred to USC department because she had to deal with like someone that was on drugs.
Yeah.
And the person kept trying to bite her. And she's like, I'm done here. And then she transferred to university police. And they're like, it's crazy. They're like, the level of drugs that are now back to when there used to be is different. They're like, literally, the best description for these people are zombies. And they're like,
I passed a couple zombies just around the park earlier. One guy had all this, like, it looked like fucking paint coming out of his nose.
Oh my God.
And he was like, and I was like, dude, I'm so glad I have my headphones in because like I didn't even want to hear what the fuck he was saying, dude. He was like casting spells and all kinds of shit.
I was telling you too not too long ago where we was talking about the lady who was medicating herself with PCP. I was watching something. It was a documentary about people, how crazy PCP is.
I think I've seen it.
And did you see the one where the dude was walking down the street and
naked?
He had disemboweled himself?
Oh yeah, he cut himself open like you're bleeding.
No,
His guts are coming
guts
out.
were hanging.
Yeah,
She was like, "Yo, guts hanging out."
Yeah.
He's like,
He just kept strolling.
his
dope.
intestines were hanging outside of his body, and he was walking around regular shit, pop locking.
It is Drugs Inc., right?
Yeah,
dude, that
someone
shit's
that I know that's
crazy.
close to me who did PCP laced into something described it as feeling invincible. So
Can you
it
imagine?
makes sense.
Can you imagine what he felt when he came down off that PCP?
Oh shit. Oh, like what happened, dude? There's people that have been
It's
on
like
PCP.
waking up from a fucking bad dream and all of a sudden you're there.
Yeah. What about people who have been like shot like 4 times on PCP and they just kept coming, dude?
Yeah.
Dude,
Well, you
people
gotta
have jumped off of roofs of like 10-story buildings, got up like
Oh my god, dude, it's crazy.
all bones, all
gross.
took a
Smashed
bag of
up.
fucking chipped bones.
Going back to that prison stuff, I don't know, like, I don't want to toot my own horn here, but I think I'd be okay in solitary confinement. I have a good imagination.
It's really funny. Right?
Yeah, maybe.
It's funny that you say that. I've thought about that. Like
I'm like, I can sit alone.
I
for a
feel
long
like
time. For
I'm
long?
extremely built for solitary confinement. They'd come back in a year. I'm
I'm
like,
like, hey, what's up? I'm like, hey, what's up? Is it time to walk around in the
the
yard
fuck?
for 15 minutes?
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. I don't know, man.
They'd come by my cell. I'd be beatboxing in there, fucking rhyming and shit.
Yeah. Yeah.
you know, when you're in solitary confinement, they don't even let you out amongst like the other.
No.
Like when they let you in solitary confinement, even when
You're in a thing like this.
when you
just
get
a
your
fence in
yeah
the outside.
when you get your recreational period, it's still separated from the other inmates.
Yeah.
It's like a small little corridor area, and they let you out there, and you're like, oh,
I've seen
okay.
ones like about the size of this room, almost like just,
Yeah,
just chain link fence, and you're
Yeah.
outside. Obviously, the top is covered too, and you just walk around in circles. Do some push-ups, whatever.
I don't know, man.
They
Take a
did.
little blade of grass back with you.
Oh,
Yeah.
I might have been
A spider lands
This
on
might
it?
have been maybe on the Joe Rogan podcast where he was speaking about. They did some kind of. There was an experiment where they had two twins, and one of the twins was extremely outgoing, and then the other one was like the total opposite. He
The
was
evil twin.
totally introverted.
Right.
And they put them both in solitary confinement to see how they, like, just on a biological level, would deal with that type of environment, or stimulus level, to see how they dealt with that environment. And they were saying how right away the person who was much more outgoing, obviously needing people energy, started to crumble right a fucking way. It was
Really?
just like, yeah, he started to bug the fuck out. He started to create people right away in his head. He started to create people right because he needed somebody, and if they weren't there, he had to manifest them.
Crazy.
And they were saying that the other one, who was much more introverted and like into himself, he would just sit there and stare for hours. He would stare in one place for hours,
Of course.
and he was totally fine. They were saying that in terms of like levels of activity throughout the day, the one who was outgoing was much more active. He was walking around creating characters to interact with. But the one who was much more introverted, he would just sit in one place, stare, like go into himself. And he was fine psychologically.
Okay.
That to me,
Yeah.
it's just kind of it's like not a complete parallel, but definitely a juxtaposition of that is like when you're sitting at a table full of people, and this happened to me today. And everyone, once the conversation was like dying down, people just started getting on their phones.
Yeah.
And I just sat there. I'm like, I'm content just sitting here and taking in my surroundings.
Yeah.
I don't need to be constantly like
Stimulated.
Yeah, exactly. Like and obviously they're all younger people too. But
But that's the thing. I mean, I didn't mean to
no,
interrupt you,
that was it.
So I left my phone at the gym, so I didn't have a phone all day today, and I reached for it like 15 times. Oh shit, I forgot it. But then I was thinking, like on my break,
Yeah.
I like to go off by myself. I don't like fucking people around bothering me when I'm on my break, right? I don't
Yeah.
want to talk about stupid, pointless shit. And I'm sitting there.
You old curmudgeon, you.
So I'm sitting there, and I find myself daydreaming.
Yeah.
Right? And then I said, hey, I wonder what the importance of daydreaming actually is. Like, when you are in that position where you're about to get the daydream, you always pull out your phone because you need your mind to be active.
Yeah.
But I think there's a real biological purpose of daydreaming, and I think so many people are not daydreaming that it might be doing something. I don't know what, but when I daydream, there's times where I figure shit out.
Absolutely, yeah.
And I'm thinking about things, and I don't know. It might be nothing at all, but I think there's a point to just zoning out.
Well, shit. The mobile device to me is like, it's an insecurity pacifier.
For sure.
That's exactly.
You can't
what
be
it is.
by yourself.
Pacifier is the best.
It's
Is a
an
great word
insecurity
for it.
pacifier, and people don't see it that way. They're like, "Oh, I'm connecting with." Like, dude,
Nah, man.
you're using it so you don't have to feel
Face
inadequate,
yourself.
or you don't have to face yourself. You don't have
Your
to
own
feel
thoughts,
inadequate.
yeah.
You don't have to. I mean, when he's saying he's sitting at that table, and all of those people, as soon as the conversation is dying down, they jump on their phones.
Yeah.
That's because, as you said, you're left with yourself. If you don't pick up that phone, then you have that space where you're like, okay, damn, well, this is what's going on in my life. Maybe this might not be going so well.
Right.
These things start to happen.
Yeah.
I mean, and all of those things, like, the most secure person is not going to have a problem going, well, there's nothing going on, but I'm fine.
I'm cool.
Yeah, I'm good. I don't need anything to fill this space. I'm fine with myself. you know?
Yeah. Oh, people aren't able to speak beyond like the superficial shit. Either they want to talk about the weather or they want to talk about just stuff
Ugh,
at work.
I hate
and
small
I'm just
talk.
like,
Fucking
I'm
hate
like,
small talk.
can we talk? God forbid we talk about something like with substance to it.
Small
something
pink
real.
boxes.
Yeah, that's fine. That's why I'm fine with the silence because it allows me to just like drift away and I can think about whatever I want to think about.
Dude, yeah, you have you have to be comfortable with that emptiness, right? Because
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, as well as being able to socialize. That's
yes,
the
yes.
perfect person, is the person who's able to deal with themselves just as well as they're able to deal with a group of people.
right, it's
Yeah.
like but people have a hard time facing their own demons now because when they don't have that distraction, it's like, oh, I've really been fucking up on this. What can I do about it?
Yeah.
Maybe that doesn't get worked out as clearly as it should because
Yeah.
you're too busy distracting yourself with like the weird shit on the phone.
Yeah.
You know.
For me, I don't say anything also because like I don't need to be. I want to talk about. I don't know. I'd rather like someone like my good friends be there, like you guys or something, because it's like I don't want to. I have nothing to talk about. Like I don't want to divulge information that's personal. You
Exactly.
know what I mean?
And also, are they relatable?
Yeah,
You know-
it's true. Yeah, I'm talking to like people in their 20s. I'm like,
What
we're so far in age, we have nothing in common. It's
Yeah.
just how it is,
Well, go ahead.
Oh, no, I'm sorry. But I heard a conversation between a mother and a daughter, and the daughter was showing her mother like all of these selfies that she was
So
taking.
weird.
And the mother was like, "Why do you guys do your lips like that? It's like Wanda from In Living Color."
Oh.
And her daughter was like, "Who the hell is Wanda?"
Oh, my God.
And it like made me realize like, yeah, there's a divide.
Yeah.
And she had to explain to her. She was like, "Well, you know that guy Jamie
You know who
Foxx?
Jamie
He
Foxx
does." And she like made it apparent. She was like, "Okay, his most recent fucking role, like something that you would definitely know him from that he
Yeah.
just did."
Yeah.
She's like, "Oh,
Shazam.
you know that guy from Beat Shazam?"
Yeah.
And her daughter was like, "Yeah, I know that guy." He's
She
like,
used
"Well,"
to do a
she's like, he was like,
character.
"Yeah, well, in the '90s, he used to do a character, and his
Yeah.
character's name was Wanda."
You don't remember
And
I Rock
she
Your
had-
World? You don't remember that?
Dude, she had to go for her daughter to understand why this was a joke. She had to go into the full backstory. She had to give her the full backstory. Like, oh, there was this show in the
Yeah.
'90s, and this
Oh,
show was really
shit.
popular amongst African Americans. And there was a guy on here named Jamie Foxx, and then Jamie Foxx used to have a character, and he did the lips like this. And I was sitting there, and it was just so funny to me that she had this long, drawn out fucking explanation just so she could explain to her daughter why this
she
was
looks
funny.
ridiculous.
Yeah. Man, I don't know. Conversations with people are strange though too. Like there's a person at my work that like. It's weird because like there's times where I'm like, oh, she's just being like Trey, and I think she's being like people will think. Well, I mean,
I hate when people are being like Trey. I'm like,
you know what I mean? Like,
get
what
away
Trey,
from
Ah,
but,
so
like,
fucked up.
but Trey, like sometimes will keep to himself, and then people will think he's
I'm
an
fine
asshole.
with that. I love when people are like that because I'm like, good. That person is probably a normal person.
Well, check this out. So
I always find that every single person that's close to me in how they deal with the world, usually when you get past that, those are the coolest people.
Exactly, yeah.
yeah. So it's like I've always been cool with this person, right?
Mm-hmm.
So one day, but there's also a line, right? So it's like if someone puts forth an effort and you're like fuck you, then you have
Yeah.
to say I'm done with you,
Yeah.
right? So like here's the thing. So there's times where I'll walk in the lunchroom and she'll just be quiet, and I'm like, hey, what's going on? Okay, and it's kind of like really nothing
Yeah.
to what's happening.
Yeah.
So then there'd be times where like, okay, so for instance, I forgot that my bagel was toasting in the fucking toaster oven, and I ran to the back and I was like, oh shit, she was in there. I was like, shit, I almost burnt this thing. Nothing, bro. It's as if like nothing, like I didn't even exist. Like there was no acknowledgement.
Very odd. It's odd, yeah.
Like she just stared like at her phone. Like she doesn't have like she has a flip phone, right?
Yeah.
She just like didn't acknowledge me.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, that's fucking weird. Right now I'm like, oh, that was close when you acknowledge another human being, right? I was like, that's cool. But where I called it quits was when she looked fucking super tired, right? And I was like, oh man, you know what'll help you is if you just fucking throw some pillows inside your hoodie, you know? Right? And
Yeah.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
and she goes, why? To support my neck? And I was like, nah, so like if you get tired, you can just put your head like this against the wall. And I looked at her and she just fucking like looked at me and literally turned around and
Yeah.
walked away.
See,
Yeah.
that's whack.
But that's not Trey status.
No.
but
But for me, I'm actually looking for that comedic,
yeah.
like sense of levity that you brought
I
to
do
the
that
situation.
all day.
Yeah.
That's what I'm looking for. That's
Right.
what I don't get.
Yes.
I'm almost on some. I've heard Kareem Abdul-Jabbar speak about this. He's a person
Oh,
who has the type of character as me,
Right.
and he would say that people would, he'd be like, oh, they try to tell jokes, and then they go, well, what's wrong with you? Why don't you? And he'd be like, well, it just wasn't funny.
Yeah.
And
Or at least
so,
you, yeah.
and so for me, I think because I hang around you guys and I genuinely enjoy the humor and the characteristics that you guys bring to the table.
Yeah.
I'm a little jaded when I meet people and this sounds fucked up, but when they don't meet that bar.
Yeah. Oh no.
And they think they're dope
funny.
as fuck, and they think
Yeah.
they're tight as. I'm like, come on, man.
It's
You're not
uncomfortable.
really that funny, and
Yeah.
you think you're mad funny.
Yeah.
and you
then
think you're cooler than me, and I think I know cool because I hang around dudes that I genuinely feel are cool.
Yeah.
You know?
And then you just feel embarrassed for him. You're like, damn. Like,
Yeah.
I feel weird. I gotta get. And then one time, one of the cholos called me out on it. One time, I was like, dude, don't give him a pity laugh. I was like, yeah. I was like, you're right. Fucking sorry, man.
I just don't laugh because I feel like it's more genuine for me to show you that I don't think it's funny.
yeah. I
I like saying things that are just like outrageous in the middle of a sentence and it's a complete lie.
Yeah.
And then see if the person reacts. And if they do, then I'm like, oh, okay, you're a normal person.
Yeah.
Like, I'm just being fucking silly, right?
Yeah.
Because we talk about nothing. Everything is spoken in like that business language, you know?
Yeah.
And like I'll pick up the phone, and just say like, what? Like, like,
Yeah.
Like, because like people need to. And actually, I actually talked to one of my coworkers about that, who I stayed with in a different building, and now I'm in a whole other building. I was like, a robot could have typed out your emails. I was like, they're completely devoid of human emotion. She was like, what? Really? I was like, no, it's cool. It's just like, just the most professional thing I've ever read in my life. Like, it's just,
Yeah.
and then it was funny because like she would call me and be like normal about it. I think sometimes people are also maybe a little bit scared to act. I don't know, normal,
wacky.
Yeah, it's a little bit silly, especially in like a professional.
Yeah.
But it's like, dude, we need levity. Everyone here is fucking stressed.
Yeah.
Everyone's stressed. Everyone's under pressure to get shit done. We need it in the workplace. Where else? Why be all stone faced and angry and fucking upset all day? Why
I do
carry
admit
that?
there's a bit of an assholeness with me though, because sometimes
Yeah.
I give people exactly what they're looking for. If I can tell that their energy is like, oh, Trey's an asshole. Like I don't see him smile too much, or I don't see him
Right.
open up. Then I'll give them exactly what they're looking for. So in the situation that you spoke about with you and that girl, I would act like her just because I know they expect me to act like her. In my head, I'm not pissed off at all.
Yeah.
I'm not bothered by anything. But there's a part of me that goes, well, you've already pegged me for that type of person.
Yeah.
Why change your mind now? And it's a personal joke on my end, but I know to them it's not funny. I don't know why I act like that. That's the most
You're an
asshole
asshole.
part of my character.
well, here's the thing.
It's also kind of funny to like show people a mirror of how they're
Exactly.
acting.
A
Because
mirror is
it's like
fucking
look how
everything.
absurd you're acting.
Well,
Yeah.
so basically, what
And
I
more
did,
often than not, they don't fucking get it. But whatever.
so basically what I did was I cut her off. This is gonna sound corny, but energy wise, but she doesn't get my energy anymore, right? I don't give her like, hey yo, oh hey, what's going on? Like I don't mean I don't talk to her, like because like we work in the same spot.
Yeah.
But she knows that that it's done. Like
Yeah.
I mean, not that it's important to her.
Yeah.
But she knows that. Oh, like you're an asshole to somebody who actually was always been cool with you.
Yeah.
And now we can't go back because I don't want to. Because like after 20 times of trying to be cool, and then the last time was the biggest time you were a dick. Like
You're generous. 20.
I'm just saying, like I'm just like like after
Steve will keep trying, definitely.
That's good. No, it's good.
it's like realistically it's probably like 7-8 times, like really.
Listen, I want everyone to like me too, but at
Yeah.
the same time, I'm like,
Well,
Jesus Christ.
PJ, you're pretty good. I think I can, off the top of my head, I can only think of one person you've ever had a problem with.
Yeah,
I think that was Sir Plunk.
No, it wasn't Sir Plunk.
Sir
Then
Plunk,
two, then.
Sir Plunk felt a certain way about you, but I think it was because you used to talk a lot of shit. used to go in on him, and I don't think he understood how to really retort. I think he thought I'm the cool guy and nobody can talk shit about me. And there were certain few times where you got in his ass, and and I think he took that to heart. Like, who the fuck does this guy think he is? So.
Well, I feel like for some people who don't know me very well, they don't understand that that's how I show my love to you. I'm a fucking complete dickhead. No, because it's like we're comfortable. That is honestly how I express my love. To be honest, I like teasing people. I like making things. I like showing that like I can't be serious. Like just how I fucking hate being serious. I don't like being like. My maturity is definitely not that high, and it's very hard for me to put on that professional face. So like. I enjoy seeking out others who see levity in things.
And I've never met a person who said anything negative about you.
Oh, by the way, I thought you were talking about people that you know that I haven't liked personally.
No, there's plenty
because I like
those.
Plunk.
But I'm saying, in terms of
even when he offered me coke,
who've
No,
like
full,
come to
thank you.
me
Yeah.
like, oh, this fucking only one person, and I've known you for what, over 13 years at this point.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude, that's crazy.
It takes a lot for me to dislike someone, I think.
Yeah, you have
because
to work
usually,
for it.
like dislike means that like I actually put forth a little bit of energy towards you.
Yeah.
But other than that, like if it's someone's like if someone's not jiving with me and they're negative, whatever energy coming out, I just don't even talk to them. Like I don't give it the thought. But for someone to actually dislike someone, they know who they are.
Yeah, you know who you are. You have to actually really work for it. You know, at least for me, like you have to really work for and then when you establish that, like this is never
you,
gonna be,
Z5.
then I'm like,
Z5? Who the fuck is that?
He know.
Oh, okay.
I was like, nah, man.
Can we all just say fuck you to people that we don't like right now?
Let's go.
Nah,
Just be the fuck you hour.
I don't think I've ever disliked anybody more than that guy in my life.
Damn.
That's hilarious.
He's a person I knuckle up with, like, in a second.
If I saw him on the street, I'd take my shoes off and go.
Him and his grandma.
Yeah, that's fucking funny, dude.
That's hilarious.
Nah, there's not many people like that for me, but for sure, people who are like, well, I'm just walking away because I don't need it.
Yeah. What about training? How's
I haven't gotten any training in, which is ironic because like I even felt bad buying the hat. I was like, I haven't been training that much to be saying I do jiu-jitsu. But then I was like, I can also fucking hang. I could at the drop if someone wanted to roll right now, I'd be okay. Like, this is muscle memory at this point. But I need to get more training in. I've been doing like once a week at the most. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, I got my purple belt, and there's so many times where I'm sitting there thinking, man, I'm a fucking fraud, dude. I don't even know why I
thought about that when I got my fucking purple belt. I was like, I'm training that much.
Because here's the thing, I've been like getting handled in the gi, not tapped, but like just fucking controlled.
Do I need to show all your training partners how to tap you? The S mount.
You have a fucking S mount. Yep. PJ always gets me with that shit.
Every time.
Yeah, and I'm like, fuck.
Nah, you deserve it, dude. It's just you know, shit. You have bad days and good days, man.
Well, like today, I was like, you know what? Fuck that. I was like, today, I'm fucking not just gonna train. I'm gonna fuck everybody up. Like I had to give myself that mentality, and I was like, I'm not taking because yesterday when Ruth picked me up, I was like, she's like, what's up? I was like, I don't know if I'm weak or if I'm being lazy. She's like, well, that's a negative way of looking at it. I'm like, no, I'm not saying it to put
She's
myself.
like both.
Yeah. I'm not saying it to be negative. I'm saying, am I being lazy in my mind? Am I just giving people shit, right? Like, go ahead and take side control. That's okay. Like,
I feel
it's
like
fine.
I've done that too before. I know what you're talking about.
So today I was like, fuck that. I'm not giving anyone shit. If anything, if you come in this, I'm gonna fuck you up. Like, all right, cool. So, and today we did nogi. That was, maybe just because I said I was gonna do it, I did it. And it's not even on a bragging level. It's
there
just
is something to that, though, by the way. Before you go into it and you're like, I'm going to fuck people up today.
Yeah. And it's true every time. Well, just like when I was a white belt and I said, I'm going to tap that purple belt today.
Yeah.
Fucking tapped his ass.
Yeah.
And I was like, whoa, that's kind of crazy.
When you retired that black belt.
God, it's fucked up.
Fucked up.
I was like, with that black belt, I was like, if
Which one? The one that beat him up in front of his girl?
No. The one where he beat him up in front of his girlfriend.
Yeah.
You beat that guy.
I beat that dude. Yeah. I was like, all right, man, if he wants to roll with me and he starts getting crazy, I'm tapping his ass again.
Yeah.
And then, but anyways, this...
By the way, have you seen him since?
Nah.
I told you, that guy moved to another fucking state, dude. He's out of here.
He
never
come
wants to run
around.
into Steve ever
It's
again.
fucking weird.
But there's something to be said about, I guess for us personally, you could say art and you can say jujitsu are two ways to discover some very hard truths about yourself.
Yeah, for sure.
You know?
Yeah.
And I used to tell that to like fucking my old students.
How do you feel, what question am I asking? You said in art, so how does the process of art like expose a hard truth about one's self?
Well,
or how do you feel?
And you guys will understand because you guys are both artists, but like, so it starts with something inside of you that needs to be created, that needs to come out. Mm-hmm. Now you will attempt that. You will attempt to recreate what is in your mind, and it won't come out the way you first expected.
Mm-hmm. Right.
And the second time it won't come out the first. You're like, damn, why is this not working? You might be getting frustrated and be like, I want to fucking quit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you're like, or I can just fucking push harder.
Yeah.
Because the thing is, even myself, obviously, like in art, you're always going to be a student of it.
Yeah.
In jiu-jitsu, you're always going to be a student of it. You're never a master of it. You're never a master of it.
Right.
There's always things to learn. And you start pulling your the best you out by like fucking grinding and constant like just sharpening of your tools, because you're failing and you're failing and you're failing, and it's fucked up because you're like, you think that failure is the end at first. You're like, it's not going to happen.
Right.
It's not going to happen. Like you guys have been there before where you try to design something, you're like, it's just not happening.
Right.
Dude, I've spent 4 hours trying to do a fucking logo, and at the end I'm like, what the fuck
This
did I
is
just
trash.
What did I just waste my time on?
That's part of the
and
game.
that's such a fucking hard feeling.
part
And
of
that's
the
like
game.
that's like what that could be equated to what you're doing now.
Yeah.
You got your purple belt, and you're like, why am I getting fucking tapped so much? Like,
Yeah.
dude, like I've
Yeah.
been working at this for years.
Yeah.
You still there's still things to be learned after that. So it's like, even though you'll never be a master of it, it takes those years of failure, which sounds harsh. And that's what I'm saying. Like, are you willing to fail for years?
Oh yeah.
Are you willing to fucking?
Oh, yeah.
Are you willing to sacrifice that feeling of like, like utter
Self-deprecating
disappointment in
and all
yourself?
that,
You know what I mean? Like, so if you can come out at the end of that thing, feeling like you've accomplished something, and eventually you see little lights, like little glistens of greatness
Or progression.
You're like, dude, there are those things inside you that, and it's like you had that inside you all along,
right?
But you needed to go through these. You needed to be broken down, a million times over before you get to that point. So that's what I mean. Like, discovering your truth is like. Or like sort of Joe Rogan says, like, get the bitch out of you, work that shit out.
Oh, yeah.
Because
You ever realize that even like in the pursuits of anything where you're trying to be the absolute best that you can be, when you progress, you don't really see it until you juxtapose it next to
your old self.
Your old self.
Oh my God!
And sometimes that can be the thing that's the most frustrating because you don't actually see the progression.
Which is weird, right?
Yeah,
At the moment, you're like, this shit is fire.
You go, and it, like when I look at things that I did in Otis, and I look at things I do now, I go, oh, I've definitely gotten better.
Right.
But I don't remember getting better.
Right.
Of course not.
It was just this linear, like, oh, I'm just doing things. And then some things come out cooler than others. But I'm saying just across the board, when I juxtapose what was being done in that period of time in my life versus what's being done now in terms of technical skill, I go, yeah, I've gotten way better. Of
course, yeah.
I didn't see it. I didn't remember it happening.
This isn't like some new fucking,
Idea.
inspirational idea.
Yeah.
But it's
But it has to be.
Try and get dope at something like that and see what,
Well, I think what it
see what
is
you're made of.
is
And I'm saying
that,
it's
but who has the character to again keep getting up? Like it hurts every time, and then when you get fucking kicked down the fifth time, you're like, "Oh God damn it!"
Yeah.
Okay, this like this fucking dude is just fucking me up, and he has no business. There's been time. There's this purple belt that came in, right? And dude, I was toying the fuck with this dude. I felt like I don't know, somebody was just. I was spinning on his back. I was fucking twirling over his head. I was doing all kinds of. I did whatever I wanted.
Yeah.
And then one day, I couldn't do it anymore. Like the powers were like, that was, you had fun? All right, let me take those back. And now, and the dude started fucking me up. And I was like, did you just get better? I was like, out of nowhere, did you just fucking become amazing? I was like, what happened?
Yeah.
Dude, it like literally, my powers got taken away. And this dude was like trying to tell me how to do shit. And that's the dude that almost, he was like, not almost, but did sleep me.
Yeah.
I was like, he can't, dude. And I was like,
Yeah.
wow.
I think you know it's funny. I was kind of just speaking on jujitsu. I was kind of trying to explain that to Sarah. I was like, it's not like going to the gym. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
You're not competing with anyone at the gym, and even if you think you're not competing with someone at jujitsu, you are competing with someone at jujitsu. As a man, you're going to take it a certain way, especially when it comes to like, I'm gauging my physical strength versus your physical strength. This is
simulated combat.
Exactly, it's simulated combat. Exactly. So I'm like, so it takes a certain amount of like mental preparedness. It takes a certain confidence. It's a whole lot more than just like going and lifting fucking heavy things. You know what I mean?
Right.
So I was just telling her what I have to go. For me personally, I'm a person who I got a fucking ton of anxiety.
Yeah.
And it takes a lot for me to go train like fucking for an hour and a half. You know?
Yeah.
I have to overcome a lot of obstacles and kind of shed things off before I get there, like shake shit out, before I get there. So,
Yeah.
And it's part of the journey.
You were speaking about like process of art, like being like reflective of like life.
Yeah.
You ever think the way that you approach art, either of you two, is a reflection of how you approach your life as well?
Yeah.
For better or worse, yes.
For me, what I noticed for me is when I do art, I've always admired, I've told P about this, I've always admired the fact that he can have a vision. He can have it in his head. This is what I want. This is how I want it to look. This everything. It's already constructed in his head. And he just needs to get to point B.
Right.
He can start at point A with the idea, and then he just needs to get to point B. I'm never like that. And my life is not like that. Is that I put something down, and then wherever that thing takes me, it'll take me.
Okay.
So I have to go from point A to 7 to T to 6 to 83,
right,
and then work my way eventually to B. And then I go, okay, cool, but I made it here. You, from what I've seen, are similar. It's calculated. Everything is calculated. Like I know how I want this to be. I put everything in a schematic form down, and boom.
Well, it's funny because if we look at it like that, I like when I do my design, I want my design to be clever. And like, I don't mean like, I'm so smart. I'm just like, I just want it to be clever. Like, oh shit, playing Call of Duty, like I do sneaky, clever things. Then I go into jiu-jitsu, I do my sneaky, clever things. Only because I get a fucking bone from doing that. You know what I mean? I'm like, oh, I feel myself on those. Not because I'm like so clever and so smart. Not even that. But those are the pathways that I like to take. I'm like, if I do this and that motherfucker won't see it coming. I'm gonna do that.
Yeah.
You know? And it's true. Like from my designing, my art to video games to real life, fighting. Like I'm always looking for that little sneaky edge. Like always. So, but
I've just always thought it was crazy how we all seem to approach art in the same way that we approach dealing with our lives. I do a bunch of shit. I'm all there's always things that are in my peripheral like, oh, that might be cool.
Right.
Maybe I could do that.
Inspiration strikes.
Or maybe I could do that. Or maybe I could do that. But nothing's definite.
Right.
And that's how that's been my career also. Like, I could maybe do this one day, or maybe do this one day, or go here, or go there. But nothing's like solidified. You two are much more calculated in how you deal with things. And I don't think that's
I see it in my head.
I don't think that's a coincidence. I think we're wired a certain way. And everything that we approach in our lives follows that wiring.
Listen, for me, art is a struggle because all the things that I see are so beautiful in my head and are so difficult to manifest on paper. Like I think I've kind of had to deal with that, like that truth that like, all right, you're not fucking, you're not Michelangelo, you're not a Renaissance painter, because like the level of like I'm not a master fine artist, but there are things that I want to create that are like that, So often my artistic thing it's like a reducted version of what it was prior of something that I think is much better. So I got, like you're saying, like cleverness. That's where cleverness comes in. It's like how can I still tell the same story beautifully, but in
Less moving parts.
Less, exactly. Yeah, like in a much more broken down way, you know? So
I think that's the
it's
only-
hard. It's really hard. It's really, really hard.
That might be the only way you develop like specific style, though.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah,
I'm pretty
absolutely,
sure,
yeah.
like, you know, I've been very high on like para and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I'm fairly sure the same like God damn it, I can't get to where I want to be. I'm pretty sure there are artists on a level above him, probably
Yeah.
fine
Yeah.
arts, that he looks at and goes, "Fuck, why can't I do that?"
Yeah. But at the same
But we look
token,
at him and go, "That's just fucking dope."
But
you
those
know?
those people who are at the top, who are at the upper echelon, also look at Para and they're like, I could never do that.
Right, they look back.
Yes,
They're looking
yeah.
back at him.
Yeah,
They're
yeah,
looking
they're
at each other. You know,
I couldn't
everyone.
even-
yeah, yeah. You know,
It's funny though.
Everybody's looking
Yeah.
at, you know,
Yeah.
But you know, like, the one thing I really love to do, which is inside of the architecture of this thing, is I like to take something complicated and break it down into simple pieces, right? So it's like the whole, like, you know, one finger's weak, but, you know, closed fist, you know, you know, it's like, I like to weaken things. I like to like take something and like break it apart in a million pieces and then overcome each little piece, and then the next thing I look up, I overcame that big thing I was trying to take care of, you know. And I mean, it's all the way from like complicated design to complicated moves to color. Let's say at work, there's a very complicated color, something that just is not made, you know, or not readily made. I literally will break down the colors and in the order of the colors, because colors have to be in order as well to create a specific color. You can take all the same colors, if you mix them set in the wrong order, it doesn't quite turn out.
And also, they kind of luck the fuck out that you have a background in arts.
Yeah.
Because the normal person does not understand color theory or how to mix colors or anything. And I haven't mixed colors in forever, but I bet I can probably nail some shit like pretty decently now.
Dude, there's times where I surprise the fuck out of myself where I'm like, I can't believe I did that. Like, I cannot
They're like,
believe.
this is great, Steve. You can work at Home Depot. You're
Yeah,
like,
yeah. I mean, I really, I should be getting paid a lot more.
Yeah, fuck yeah.
Then, you know, like, I'm like, I just restored a $3,000 Italian vase.
Yeah.
And you can't even tell that anything happened to it.
Yeah.
And it looks glazed over and everything. It looks like ceramic. You know, like, yeah. You know what I mean? So, but what's cool about it, though, is that I'm taking those things and now I can put them towards other stuff, you know, because I'm learning a lot, too.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, man.
Listen to
we're
how
coming up on it now.
systematic, you know, he explained that.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
that's how you look at life.
Yeah.
Well, for me, it's like my mind is like so scattered. Like I have to do things like the way you're speaking about. Like for me, it's like it's got to be step 1, 2, 3, because it's like I have a tendency, like you said, like my tendency is to go all over the fucking place. But dude, I will lose myself,
Do
dude.
you?
Yeah,
'Cause
yeah.
From the outside looking in,
Yeah.
I don't see that with you.
It's hard. I have to rein it in, man.
I've always seen you go, this is what I'm after. And then you go there. I'm never after anything.
Well, you know,
I'm never after anything.
You're a dreamer.
I just wherever it takes me, wherever this shit takes me. I mean, and then I'll go through these phases. You know, I'm in my fucking Kobe printing phase.
Yeah.
And it'll be. I just try to fucking like. I'm almost like goddamn. What the fuck is his name? I can't think. He's fucking most popular artist ever.
Andy Warhol.
No, not Andy Warhol, but he had a blue period or a blue phase.
Picasso,
yeah.
You know, where he had these phases where this is what he was doing.
Right.
Yeah.
I have those phases where I'll take on an inspiration or a muse. Right now, it's the Kobe Printing Company.
Right.
And I'll dedicate myself to doing art to as close to that level as possible, where I'm saying I'm trying to get to the point where it's indistinguishable, where you go,
Right.
where the thing that I will do that's of systematic nature is that I'll look at how an artist constructs a certain piece and I'll try to break down what, like when they made this move on a typographic level, why did they make this move?
Right.
And then when I find out why they make that move, then I go, okay, it's like a coin that's being dropped into my little bag of knowledge. Okay. Now I added that. And, you know, doing all of these Kobe printing things, the cool thing is that just like Para, they don't follow this linear line of like thinking.
Right.
It's really creative and spontaneous.
Yeah.
And it's helped me with my typography. So like certain things, they'll help me. When I'm in these phases, I usually like place myself in these phases because there's a deficiency in my creative ability where I go, this can help me get better.
Yeah.
You know?
Oh, yeah.
And that's what I'll do. Like I'll take these things and I'll go, okay, this makes me better in this area.
Right.
You know?
Right. Yeah. Yeah. I'd say the only tendency I have with what you're talking about is like pursuits, right? I'm like, oh, like architecture would be dope. Oh, but you know what? Sculpting would be dope.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
And then I have to be like, okay, wait a minute. Okay.
There's no time for it all.
There's no time for it all.
There just isn't.
Keep going on this and then pull new things into it, you know?
Yeah.
So like I was like, okay, not sculpting, but maybe I like doing like graph art too, you know, just when I'm messing around.
Yeah.
Maybe I get a vinyl toy made. You know what I mean? It's like,
I remember mine.
Yeah.
I still have that on the back burner, but like, I want to finish that at some point, you know, in my life.
yeah. And it's just like, okay, now what? You know, like I love like interior architectural design, but I'm not going to fucking go to school for a couple of years for it. I just don't have the time and I don't want to, you know, I feel like I have an eye for it. That's why I'm interested in it.
Yeah.
That doesn't mean I'm amazing or good at it at all, but I admire it, you know?
Yeah.
So, but yeah, man, but then I say, okay, let's get back to what I know and what I still enjoy. And if I stop enjoying it, then I won't do it anymore for sure. Fuck that. You know, I'm not going to torture myself.
Like I said, you're going to be a student of it forever. Like you can constantly get better. You can constantly, you know, you can go to Super Saiyan fucking 10, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's kind of where we all want to go.
Yeah, man.
But yeah, man, it's 10, y'all.
Shit.
Want to fucking
Let's do a
some
little
partying?
rapidy rap. Real quick recommendation, which I actually don't know if it's good or not, but I saw...
Hated it.
I didn't like it at all. I don't know. Did you guys see the preview for a free trip to Egypt?
Yes. I just said, it's funny, I just sent that to Sarah like yesterday.
That looks fucking really
Dude,
good.
when I was watching it at work and I was like,
Yeah.
I was like, God damn it. Yeah. It's fucking emotional, man. It's really emotional.
I was like, if I had the cash to just fucking fly people to other places so they can know culture, I would do that. That sounds fucking awesome.
Yeah.
But it's not even out yet, right?
No, I don't know, but yeah, it's definitely a movie everyone should watch. I think,
dude, it looks so fucking good. Like the idea is really good.
Yeah, it is really good.
Okay,
really good.
so before we leave, we all have to give a recommendation. It could be any form of entertainment.
Was that yours?
Yeah,
that
that
was
was
your
mine,
recommendation, Dre?
I'm gonna go with a band from the '70s, Blood, Sweat, and Tears. Check out anything by Blood, Sweat, and Tears.
Blood, Sweat, and Tears. Sounds
Big
like
big band, jazz and funk.
Okay.
Okay. I don't have any recommendations this week. Just
New Child's Play.
fuck that. Just a small, obvious revelation. Not even a revelation. Just time is getting more scarce and harder to come by.
Yeah.
And no more excuses. Time to fucking go ahead. Utilize your time.
Do it.
Amen to that.
Amen,
Finish.
yo.
Finish. You said a date.
Thanks
This
for
is when
listening,
things will be
Sarah.
done.
Love you.
Well, one day, hopefully, we have. Let's get 2 more listeners in on this. You know, that'd be awesome. 3
I'm going to recommend my closest friends at work to listen to it.
humble beginnings.
I might talk a little bit too much about work. For
Yeah, I was
them,
gonna say,
whatever.
what'd you say about him? Oh my God.
Yeah, no, I say closest friends there.
All right, everyone.
y'all.
Thanks for listening.
for
Peace
listening.
out.
All right, y'all.
mysterychildrenpodcast@gmail.com.
Stitcher.
iTunes.
Podbean.
iTunes.
And that's it. We'll be back next week. Thank you very much. Peace. And Trey, take us out. Yeah, there it is. The classic Trey. That's the Trey music. I
Trey,
like to
he's
hear.
having a tantric orgasm. I love when he takes us out like this.
All right, y'all. Bye.